All right, so we talked about background music and the way that can really shape our experience of your animation to create an atmosphere or a context. And sound effects can also do that a lot. When we tie a sound to an object or an event on the screen, it's really going to shape our experience. And we're going to see some examples of that here. Um, and I would really encourage you to find sounds online, which I have here, but you can also record them. You can use your phone, which has a great microphone for this kind of thing. I make lots of recordings when I'm out and about, just looking for fun objects, like that are around and make interesting sounds. You can record them. This is a picture of Building 41 on the 20th Century Fox lot. This is their sound effects library. So you could go, if you're working on a film, you could go check out, look at all these awesome like gongs and bells and drums and who knows what, this huge warehouse of stuff to make audio from. And if you have some time, I also highly recommend checking out some really awesome people doing this is what's called Foley work, where you're recording these sounds, often, mixing them together to make cool stuff. Ben Burt is a really great example of this. He, amongst many other things, did the sound effects for Star Wars. So the like lightsaber sounds and these like really classic things, Wall-E, Indiana Jones, all kinds of stuff like that. I would also recommend checking out this documentary called Crash Bang Boom. You can find it on YouTube, and it's about the sound effects in the original Looney Tunes cartoons and these amazingly inventive ways of using sound effects that no one was doing before, sounds that weren't actually the objects that you were seeing on screen, but that created this amazing kind of surreal atmosphere in those cartoons. And Ben Burt is featured in this as well. And then the Jurassic Park sound effects are also amazing. The way you create sounds of something that we can't record in real life. So the T-Rex is this crazy mix of like a little dog playing with a toy and lions and all these other sounds mixed together to create, that's like really incredible thing. So just like before, in the background sound example, I've gone ahead and I've found some free sounds online and put them in an assets folder. You can see here they're WAV files. This works too. They're a little bigger, but it's not really a big deal. And then I've also made sure that I've imported the sound library in my index.html file. Now, what I want to do is have a bouncing ball that has sound effects when it hits the side. So I've gone ahead and kind of just created this rough or this like template for us here. So we got this ball that bounces around like that. Now, if we want to load our sounds, we need a variable to store this. So I'm going to call it pop. Of course, you can have more than one sound effect, just like you can have more than one image in your code. We're going to tell P5JS, this is a WAV file, and we're going to load sound. It's in the assets folder, and it's called pop.wave. Now, just like background sound, your browser is not going to let you play audio until the user has created some kind of interaction that will allow that to happen. So I have a variable here called show intro. And in this case, I haven't gone to the trouble of adding text and stuff. It's just going to make this background color. And when you press the mouse, it changes that to false, and then it's going to show the bouncing ball. And this code is all really simple. This is just kind of stuff that we've already talked about. If then we want to play this sound, I want to do it when it hits the sides. And this is super easy. We just do pop.play, both for X and for Y. And hopefully it's loud enough you'll be able to hear it. Now I have to wait to click, and we should hear funny little bubble pops as it hits the sides. And it's super easy. Play will, these recordings are really, really short. So to play it, and when it stops, it just kind of quits. And then it gets triggered again every time we hit the sides. So this is not that complicated. I wanted to show you what it sounds like when we play a different sound, because I think it really, really changes the feel. So if we do swish, it's just a circle, but it changes the feeling of what that object is. And then I have a fun one here. Maybe you already saw it, but if we had a burp, this is not me, by the way. And of course, this is like really shaping our experience of what we're thinking about this shape, like a bubbly burp or a pop or a swish or whatever we can. It's kind of nasty. Go back to the pop. So adding sound effects that are triggered by events is really simple. You can have lots of different sound effects. You could have it pick randomly from an array of them. You could think about where you want these things triggered. Oh, there's one more thing that we can add that's really fun. There's many things that we can change about an audio file, but one of the really fun ones is that we can change panning, which is left to right where the sound appears. And so I'm going to create a variable called panning, and I'm going to use map again, our best friend, which is going to go our x value between 0 and width. And -1 is all the way in your left ear, 1 is all the way in your right ear, and 0 is right in the middle, equally in both. And then we can do pop.pan panning. Now, if you're not wearing headphones right now, you might not get the full effect, but if we refresh this, you should be hearing it moving around. I'm not sure if it's going to translate to this video here, but if you try running this example, you'll also hear it. It creates this really three-dimensional kind of space with this. So panning is a really simple thing, but can be really fun for you to hear. So that sound effect's pretty simple. One of the things I'm asking you to add to your animations for your homework is at least one sound, but I think lots of sounds is going to be really fun. So experiment, try recording some stuff, add sound in. It's really going to be a huge value add with not a ton of extra work.